everybody. I'm doing a 30-minute session with Joseph. So we're going to be sharing 30 minutes of psychic wisdom and energy healing each for a client. If any of you are interested in booking a session with Joseph and I, you can do so at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right. These are some pretty intense goals, and I want to thank you so much for having the courage to open up and explore healing and to share here on YouTube. I have no idea what this experience is going to be like. I have a feeling it's going to be intense. So thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and read your goals and get started here. Okay, so you say, I'd like to heal my blockages in releasing my trauma of sexual child abuse, satanic rituals, and no parental love. Whew. Heal my blockages in releasing my trauma from sexual child abuse, satanic rituals, and no parental love. Oh boy. I want to feel happier no matter the past and learn how to fully heal myself. That's so awesome. I mean, that's amazing. It's a really good approach. Heal the blockages in releasing trauma from sexual child abuse, satanic rituals, and no parental love. Already right there, that's hardcore stuff. That's hardcore stuff. But you have this motivation because you want to move forward. You don't want to be attached to any of this stuff. You want to move forward. To move forward, you got to release these blockages and start healing this stuff. I mean, my gosh. Are you ready for this? All right. I'm going to relax now. Get tuned in. Thank you again so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate your courage to share with others. Okay. Okay. I'm meeting you here. You're actually here waiting for me, and there's it's like I'm walking through an artery in a way, but it's just a tunnel. It's kind of oval shaped tunnel, and it looks like the insides of it are singed, are burnt. And so it's kind of scabbed and scarred over, like scar tissue inside of what is like an artery. I mean, I literally do feel like I'm in the human body, okay? Now, what's interesting, I see you are waiting here for me, but I'm having a very hard time reaching you, almost like there's an invisible barrier between where I'm standing and where you're standing. It's like we're in two totally different worlds, although we're in the same one. Like I can see, and I mean, I can see this space, I can see you in this space, but I can't reach you. Okay, let's see what comes next. Now, is this you or is this somebody else that's representing you? So, who this emanation is emanating as though it is yourself. And the longer I stand here and evaluate everything, the longer I'm starting to wonder if this really is you or someone else, okay? They have very cat-like features, although they look human, okay? It's a female. She has very pale skin, Caucasian colored skin, and ultra blonde hair. And she's wearing something that's a softer pink, and it's like in a business suit that's a skirt with a it's like a business attire with a skirt for a woman, okay, with a white blouse underneath it. And I say, you're afraid of me, aren't you? You're afraid of me. That's why I can't reach you. You created the block. That's why I can't reach you. Why are you even standing there? Why aren't you hiding from me? Okay. Okay, this is the next experience. Very disorienting. And it's almost like I could imagine being on some kind of drugs might make you feel this way, where you're just numb all over and you don't really need to move or do anything. You just kind of limp, basically. I just feel like everything in my body's become limp, and I can't. I mean, even if I wanted to think, I wouldn't really think, and I wouldn't. Even if I tried to, I wouldn't be able to. I just feel pretty like turned off, like a limp, wet noodle. But I'm still alive. I'm still in there. I'm still looking and seeing. It's very deactivating. I mean, it's basically taking away your personality. It's taking away what is essentially yourself, and what remains is just a body. It's really weird. I mean, imagine if what remained was just your body, but yet you're still looking through those eyes. So they take away everything that is essentially yourself, your personality. I mean, you can't talk, you can't speak up for yourself, you can't say anything, you can't do anything. So all you are is basically a body. I mean, I find this to be kind of boring in my opinion. I mean, what do you want to do with just a body? I mean, there's no personality in there. It's not that interesting. It's just like taking a body. Like, what's the point? Okay. I experience myself as a part of many wet noodles. And I'm just kind of a slumped over wet noodle. And all right, in the scene, basically there's a forklift, and the forklift comes and literally lifts me off the ground, and somehow there's some mechanism that I don't know if it's like the claw machine. It takes me and then puts me in the back of this vehicle, and there's a bunch of wet, like, limp noodles back there, and I'm just in a pile of bodies basically, and we're all just the same. We're all just motionless. We're in there, but we're not really able to do anything. We can't feel or laugh or desire or have any sensations at all. I even become like a fighting type, and I try to get this woman, this cat woman. I try to get her, but it's pointless. I mean, I can't move my body. I can't even speak. I can't really even formulate a thought. The sensation, the instinct is I will get you, but it's pointless. It's pretty much I'm the laughable one now. And so I say, I will embrace this then. I can't do anything. I can't override this. So I'm going to embrace this. I'm just going to be a part of whatever this is. I'm just going to let it take me. I'm just going to let it take me wherever it wants to take me next. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to learn from this. Now I totally new scene, okay, but I still have the echoes of everything I've seen thus far. This makes me feel like I could puke, okay? I feel like I'm gonna puke. Ugh. Ugh. And I'm sitting in a chair, and there's a very odd looking man. He has blacked out eyeballs, and he's kind of got a gray skin. He's human looking, but he's very skinny. And he has gray skin, and his eyes are pitch black. And he's got some piercings on his eyebrow. And he's got a bald head. And he's kind of he's taking my chin and looking at me in this way and that way. And I'm actually drooling. I mean, horrendously drooling. It's dripping, like just insanely drooling out my mouth. And my stomach feels like it's full of something that tastes horrible. It makes me want to vomit. Like whatever's in my stomach, I can sense it on my tongue. It makes me want to puke, and I can't vomit. I can't move. I can't react. I'm just a limp noodle, okay? I'm a wet noodle. And I say, I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to embrace this. I can't do anything. I can't right now. I mean, literally, no matter what warrior strength I try to manifest here to override this, nothing works. I can't pull the trigger and bam, there's the bullet. There's nothing. It's like the gun is not loaded. There's nothing in this body that is going to make it do anything. So all I can do is accept and say, okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to go with this. I can't do anything. I'm just going to go with this. And I'm all over the place. Like, my head's all over the place in this scene, this experience, okay? And for a moment, I say, where is my soul? And I can tell that somehow this experience parallels something familiar in your inner collective related to the traumas, the blocks that you're trying to release from what you've been through, okay? So I discover we're sharing the same wet noodle body, okay? And I get this weird idea and it just comes out of me and you hear it. And I say, where's my soul at? But you say, oh, you're right. Where is my soul at? And that's when we discover we're in the same body, okay? And so somehow this thought gives us some kind of activation, some kind of energy. Weirdness happening. There's some very laughable energy in here that it's like little laughing energies. It's like the kind of laughing energies that you can imagine hearing when you have very twisted souls that are enjoying watching another soul be sort of trapped and forced into an experience. And it's just a joyful event, you know, it's a celebration. To have this soul trapped is a flippin' celebration. Like, let's eat this soul again and again because it can't die. Let's do whatever we want to this soul. Like, hell yeah, let's just take this soul. Let's just do whatever we want with it, you know? It's like so awesome. Okay, so you can imagine these like joyful energies are like around, and they look like happy little bunny rabbits. I can't really see their faces, but the laughter in my mind translates into happy little demonic bunny rabbits. Okay, all right. So let's get back to where's my soul? And then you responded, okay, can I get back to that? No, then, no, you're not that important. No. So let's see where our soul's at. I'm just ignoring this massive energy that just sort of showed up. And it's like, look at me. We're more important than you. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Yeah, my guides say that's part of the process of understanding what this means. Where's my soul at? What this means, okay? So we're going to look at this thing, okay? We're just going to keep moving forward. We'll just keep moving forward. And I speak for you, and I say you know that you can think you are taking something, but I've never given it to you. So you can't take something that wasn't given to you. You live in illusion of taking things that weren't given to you. And so you're living in illusion. I mean, I'm really emanating how truly low on the totem pole, and that's what I find funny, is that you actually think that you have something here and you have nothing. You literally have nothing here. And what it looks like is a really big bluish gray colored bowl, all right? Even with like the ring in the nose. And so this bowl is like always like got steam coming out the ears and out the nose, kind of cartoon like, but it's really oversized. It's like huge. It's like Paul Bunyan's bowl gone demonic, okay? But it doesn't really emanate, I mean, I want to say it's more, it's not very convincing to me. I mean, I've met way worse. So you could say, I mean, it's kind of demonic, but it's not very thick. It's not very dense on the totem pole of real saturated, disturbing demonic, you know? It's almost like trying to be a bully or trying to be tough, trying to be convincing, but it really doesn't have anything. That's why I keep saying you just don't have anything here. And I just start to downsize it, and I put it into a little cube, okay? And you whisper to me, I'm never going to get out of this. And I say, get out of what? Let's just, all we can do is make decisions in the moment. We either can do something or we can't do anything. And then we embrace what the decision is, no matter what that decision is, no matter what is going on. I will say that so far in my experience, when it comes to releasing blocks so you can start healing this trauma, it almost feels like there's a bit of a shielding on allowing it to open up fully, like allowing yourself to feel fully about what this all means to you. It still feels a bit like we're in the safety zone on how deep we can actually open up to the vision of this experience, okay? It still feels like we really need to go through your emotions. We really need to go through all of this. Like, we need to go through layer by layer by layer and create some safety and some familiarity with the process of just, I want to say, undressing the situation, exposing it for exactly as it is, allowing it to feel disturbing, allowing it to feel whatever it needs to feel so we can vent this out of your system. You know what I mean? So as we vent, we're getting the blocks out of the way to help you to properly vent about this, you know? And when you can properly vent about it, that's when you start healing, you know? But how do you allow that venting to take place? I want to ask you an interesting question. What if one way to conquer those types of experiences is, I'm just going to throw the idea out there. We just start with the idea, okay? What if you were to define it as never having had happened? As though you can see it, you have memories of it, but on some weird level, you could say there was a switch that said never happened. In a way, by defining it as never happened somewhere, even though you have the memories and the visions and you know it happened, but that actually allows you to live a normal life on some level. But that also makes it very hard for you to actually go into the real feelings that actually were experienced. So it could be a mechanism, like a survival mechanism, because when we go through extreme experiences with sexual abuse, stuff like that, those types of traumas can create dissociate emotions. They can create ways of coping by turning things off. So you still have the memories or still have the visions of it, but you don't really feel about it. Some people block it out entirely, and then years later they start to have weird dreams and they start to wonder, did something happen and I blocked it out? You know, so we have different techniques for survival, and survival for extreme emotional events, extreme sexual events that were majorly inappropriate. We have survival techniques, you know? So sometimes those survival techniques come in to help us, not to leave us in limbo and we can't exactly get back to healing it, just to help us to try to live a balanced life, okay? Now it's time to work on knowing it's safe, to remember fully, to feel about it. And I feel like I need to get beneath the surface of the safety, because what I'm seeing so far may still be kind of like very thin on the layers that are quite substantially loud, okay? So I want to keep working my way into what is substantially loud here, because when you're talking no parental love, sexual abuse, satanic rituals, we're talking hardcore, unique types of energetic experiences that are way off the charts, you know, way off the charts. And what that does to someone, you know what I mean? So, okay. I just needed to say that stuff. There's just ideas as I'm working my way through and learning about everything, okay? All right, you're asking me about the cat woman at the beginning. I say, okay. Let me just see if I can go back and see if things are different. We'll just kind of time out where we're at here with the Paul Bunyan's blue ox or whatever, man. And then the demonic bunnies, we'll time that out, and then let me see if I can go visit her. I do. I am not. I'm visit her from behind. I touch the back of her head. She's basically a puppet. She doesn't really know who she is. Is she a sexual being? Is she kind of like somebody who welcomes you into a restaurant? She shows me that she stands and she welcomes people in, and she welcomes people in, and she welcomes people in. And then she shows me that she's like this puppet, like on the strings, but it's kind of like a sexual puppet. But then there's something about blood and sharp knives, and she doesn't have a structured identity, okay? Oh my God, something just hit me. Let's say you take a human being and turn them into a wet noodle. So you take away their personality. Now you can recreate their identity to what you want it to be. So if you take away what is essentially themselves, now you can mold and shape it to what you want that person to be. Now, how are they ever going to get themselves back? And now you can mold and shape puppet people. You can mold and shape puppet people. And she seems to have lost her true identity. And I say, how come I felt like you were afraid of me? You're creating this barrier. And that makes sense now why I felt like it was you. And then it felt like maybe it was somebody else. Because what is essentially you has potentially been set aside to bring in some other transformation. And we gotta bring balance to your identity. You know what I mean? 'Cause something like this is going to definitely make it an interesting identity that's created through all this experience. Okay, let's see. I still have a feeling like there is a barrier beneath my feet that I'm still working on breaking down, punching through it. But we have to do the investigative work, okay? And as the more we do that, the more my energy gets to more places. And then that starts to vibrationally change things and support the breakdown of what is insecurity and fear. Because insecurity and fear melts when it is hugged and loved, right? And reminded that there's still cheerfulness and there's still laughter in the world, in the world inside yourself, right? Because that's the kind of life you want to live, a happy life that doesn't have to include all of this. That maybe it just will include all of this, but that doesn't have to define the person that you choose to be, right? In a way, it adds to the depth of the person that you are, All right, let's just keep going, okay? All right, so okay, it's getting a little bit more disturbing. This is definitely a lot more disturbing than the evil bunnies and the guy, okay? This is a lot more disturbing. So she's laughing demonically now, and she's taking the knife and she cuts the side of one of her breasts, and then all this blood starts to just come out on her tummy, and then it just starts to dribble down her legs. And I don't know if she's biting her lips so hard they start to bleed, and then the blood starts to come down her chin. And now she's dressed like a nurse, and she shows me there's babies that are like pinned to a wall like an insect. They put the insect in the jar and they put the formaldehyde or whatever that is. So the insect goes to sleep, right, in pristine condition. So you take the insect body out and then you pin it, and now you have this perfectly pinned insect. Now, but we have the babies are still alive, and they're pinned to a wall and they're screaming and crying. And it's weird. It's like walking into a closet to pick out which outfit you want to wear today, but it's picking out one of like 10 screaming babies off of a wall. And she can't really be the one that makes that decision, but she's exposed to the environment, okay? And there's also like drips of blood on the white wall where she is, and the lights in here have a reddish hue to them. Okay. It's like her bones are all broken and she's trying to stand up straight and she can't. And she's not really all there in her head. She's just acting in weird ways. And I snap my fingers really loud and I say, "Stop it. Stop it. Wake up." And I show her what that means. I mean, this is the best English language I could define what those sounds are. But sometimes you got to be like a tough energy that goes whoosh like this to get them to wake up from that state. And say it's like it helps reconstruct that type of situation. Okay, so I see you, and you need somebody to tell you what to do. Tell you what to do really loud, so it's the only thing they hear, and you start to do it because you're taking command. All right, you're taking instantaneous commands. So yeah, you're not fusing back together, but I'm showing you how. 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 Fuse back together now. And I'm clearing the blood off of her body. And there's a dark being that peels her off. And he's just made out of dark energy. But it's quite interesting because it's kind of like you hawked a loogie and it was like an energy body that's made out of like black, and it's gooey everywhere. And it's like a solid structure, like bony and stuff, okay? So it just peels the skin off, and then it's just there. Just a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to alter parts of the scene. It doesn't want to create any sound, so I'm not able to interpret it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it from black to pink. I'm going to put 2 eyes, a nose, and a smiling mouth on it, okay? I'm going to decorate the place in like rainbow colors. So we're going to alter the energy vibration so that it's going to have to do something, okay? This whole space is somehow you, actually. It shows me that I'm inside of your head. And very exhausting, okay? Very exhausting. Because I feel very exhausted again. And I'm just, are each one of these babies you somehow? Is that possible? That each one of these is crying for somebody? But then, has anybody ever come to even take one of these babies and do anything with it? Why? Okay, I'm being pulled into a scene where I see many of yourself, your inner child self, okay? There's like 1,000. They're just duplicates of 1,000 inner child versions of you. And you feel so in anguish, and you have this gun, and you just start shooting them all in the head again and again, you know, bam, 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 to get them to shut up. And you start holding your head, and then the screaming of the babies is inside your head. It's not out there, it's inside. And so you're just holding your ears and holding your head. And I just come and hug you, and I say, this is good. This is good, this is good, this is good. This was really hard, wasn't it? We're getting through these barriers. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more of this weird stuff, okay? It's just getting into these weird places in your inner selves where we can start working through this, okay? Okay, so my guides are wanting me to do this because we're going to have to start activating emotional responses, okay? So, okay, how do I want to do this? We're going back to the scene with the gun and all the inner child, and you put a bullet in their heads, and you've literally done more than a bullet. You put a hole that I can actually see right through that hole in their head, okay? You've done that. And I pull all those 10 babies back together, okay, as one. And I unpin it from the wall, and I hold it in this space. All these inner childs are like, I don't know, like 8 to 10 years old, let's say. And you're exhausted again, and I start to see strange black spiders here, okay? and particularly black widows. And there's one that has a humanoid like structure to it. It's like the body of a spider, but then it has this torso with arms and a face, and it's a female black widow spider. Okay, she's made out of a silvery material. Her torso is. I say let's just wait on that. Let's just take a look at this. What do you think about all this so far? You say I don't know what to do. They say, but you did the right thing, right? You understand why this happened and why you made the choice just to pull out the gun. You understand what this is, right? This is a safe space for you to vent your emotions, no matter how weird or how extreme or how, I would never do that. They are. This is a creative space where you're safe to get it out of your system. You're not hurting yourself or hurting anyone here. So then you take the gun and then you put it to your head, and then you blow your head off, like you just put a bullet in your head. And then that body goes away, and then there's a little child, you, here, and she's like burnt. Like her flesh is burnt, even her muscle tissues are burnt down almost to the bone. And she's very small. I still feel like I'm starting to understand more about you through this process, because while we're starting to activate more emotion, more sensation, more feeling, I still feel like it's not giving in fully. It's not allowing it to be fully felt and fully explored, okay? Because it may take some time to get to that point. But let's just see here, all right? Because I feel like her pain is a lot louder than she's allowing me to feel it. I understand now why that cat lady was afraid of me, because there's still this resistance in knowing that it is safe to open this Pandora's box. There's still some resistance in knowing it's safe, because how could it ever be safe to open this up? How in the world would it ever be safe? And what are we talking about? What does safe equal? Emotions, memories, that stuff is harsh sometimes, to feel that it almost feels like you're breaking inside sometimes. Like, to feel some emotions, like the reason why we avoid it is because we don't want to feel like we're breaking inside. Like it hurts our very souls sometimes to feel these emotions, and is it safe then to feel them? If it makes us feel like we're breaking, is it safe to feel them? Yeah, it is. The interesting thing about emotions, it's like somebody saws your arm off. Now that's flippin' scary. That's not safe. But what about emotions? Are emotions going to hurt you? When you don't choose to feel them, they start deflecting back at you. They start showing up in echoes and circulating thoughts that don't ever stop, and scary dreams, That's when we need to go into those emotions, that we need to feel them, no matter how awful it is, no matter how breaking those emotions are. That's when, once you get to those emotions, that's when you get into those roots where you're just going to start healing from all this. That's when you're going to start to feel at peace. Okay, truly. I mean, how do you truly come to peace, But there's a sensation of a knowingness, or a self-love event, an epiphany about all of this, that gives you more freedom to be more of who you are, and to love yourself, love your soul, love this whole experience, not because it was wonderful, but because you became wise from it, right? Because you grew and you became wise and unique. You became your own person, right? Who is strong enough to say, I'm not going to do what was done to me. And I'm not only going to not do what was done to me, I'm going to actually learn how to break down all the trauma and work on healing and actually living my life for myself. Wow. 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 Like, wow. What a strong soul. Like, what a strong soul. Wow. All right, let's get back to this little girl here. Yeah, okay. Her flesh, it's like intestines and it's ripping, and there's a somebody, I don't know, it seems like a technology that's coming out of her. It's got structure that is like robotic in a way. It's actually releasing a lot from the neck and the throat and the top of the head. I see her body crumple to the ground. Almost like just another skin shed, and then what is beneath the surface? This robot. Okay, come on now. It's like robots. Robots are cold and they're neutral and they don't have to feel sad about anything, you know? They can look at this scene of devastation and feel nothing about it. But I see that intuitively you must work with a lot more of your soul, your intuitive self, because that is what it's like. Okay, when I experience this robot, I experience a spirit that drives the robot. The spirit is absolutely phenomenal looking, has very fairy like energy, has kind of a pale skin that has a very light tint of green to it. They're really massive blue eyes, okay? And a really kind of like a larger face with a very small chin. So it's kind of like a Bratz girl, you know, like their faces are kind of over exaggerated eyes and lips, and but she's phenomenal to look at. So she has this like blue eyes, really massive blue eyes, and this sort of light green to her skin, but she has like a off purple gray colored hair. This is really colorful. I like looking at her. And she guides the robot, and works with the robot in order to activate the heart, in order to activate the feelings, but she can't get the heart to want to activate, because if it transforms from a robot to a human, it's like going through the twilight zone or something. The robot doesn't know how to be human. The human knows how to be the robot doesn't know how to be the human. And so the robot, though, is being encouraged to be the human. And perhaps there's something inside yourself that is working through this, by being on a level a robot self, but your intuition is loudly guiding you through this. And that is the love. That is the sensation of your true personality, your true identity, is this beautiful being that you are. And souls have many faces. This is the one that is coming to me as a part of yourself, as a part of your intuitive self, okay? You say, I can't save them. I can't save any of these inner childs. They're all dead. You say, well, I got a baby here. And I remind you of the babies that were on the pin to the wall, and I just merge them all together as one baby. And then I hand this to the robot you. And the robot says, you know, I can't, my feelings are not moved by this. Like, you're echoing that you can hand me this baby, but it doesn't mean anything to me. I say, just wait. Keep looking at the baby. And you start to say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And I see you on your knees, and this robot melts away, and I see you as this like fairy-like form. And you're still holding the baby, and you're really uncomfortable, but you want to be a mother to this child. You want to nurture the baby. You know the baby needs nurtured as you needed nurture. And you can be a nurturer. And you hold the baby close to you where it is warm, where you can hear your heartbeat. And you start to dry up on the inside and crack like a rock that's broken. And I start to see this whole space is breaking in every direction. The whole space is falling apart. The baby is, though, still alive. It's starting to glow from within. I ask my guides, what else? What do I do now? I say, let it all break apart. And I'm taking this baby to a place that's full of light, okay? Just warmth, nurture. It's a part of you. This baby is a part of you. We're just working on breaking all of this stuff down. Safe and secure way of breaking all this stuff down. And this baby to Archangel Michael. I see Archangel Metatron standing here. And I feel like this is a safe, warm place for this part of your inner child to receive nurture and healing, and just let this other energy just break down as it needs to. So it's going to help you to start to feel, okay? And it feels like you want to feel from your heart more than anything. Your intuition is coming from your heart as well. It's giving you the ability to feel more like you, who you are. And feel more whatever emotions, even if they're hard ones that we don't want to feel, right? They're too tough to feel. They're too hard to feel those emotions. It's like you weigh the options. Okay, would I rather feel these emotions, or would I rather get my arm sawed off? Okay, I'm going to try to feel these emotions. It's like, are emotions really that hard? Yes. Why though? They are hard. And so we're going to work on feeling them, okay? Feeling the hard emotions. I would love to stay with us. This is all I can share for now. And I can't wait to see what Joe experiences. So I'll make sure to put a link in the description to Joe's session if you guys are interested in checking it out. Thank you very much for this experience. Thank you again for sharing. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.